Well, thank you, Ken, for your leadership. Let's give Ken Martin a round of applause for the extraordinary job that he's been doing. And thank you to Lloyd Doggett, a towering intellect in our Congress. Let's give Lloyd a round of applause. I'm a proud Democrat, but I did not come here today just to celebrate the Democratic Party. I came here to speak from my heart about what it means to live up to our values. Our strongest tradition is the fight for economic democracy. It runs from Thomas Jefferson's distrust of concentrated financial power through William Jennings Bryan's defense of producers against Eastern capital to FDR's New Deal. It lives in Johnson's Medicare and Medicaid, and it lives in Barack Obama's Affordable Care Act. This is the tradition that says our party fights for an economy that works for people who work, not just for the capital class. In the 1960s, this tradition still had force. A. Philip Randolph, Bayard Rustin, and Dr. King built on FDR's 4 freedoms with the Freedom Budget, a plan for full employment, decent wages, health care, and for housing. That was Dr. King. But here's the reality. The Freedom Budget was never enacted. Civil rights advanced, economic rights were postponed. Our party began losing its way in the 1970s, right around the time I was born. Stagflation fueled an anti-government fervor, and too many of us decided that the only way to survive politically was to accommodate it, to accept the ideological overcorrection that government itself was the problem. And accommodate we did. We supported financial deregulation and backed free trade deals that led to deindustrialization. We urged people to leave their hometowns for financial and technology sectors. We stopped being the party of Main Street and became the party of Wall Street. We kept the language of justice while abandoning the project of economic democracy that Randolph and King had put on the table. A lot of people now say that our party needs to be bold again. I agree. But calling for boldness without an agenda is just branding. I'm tired of the platitudes. I'm tired of consultant-crafted focus group language saying we need to be about affordability or renewing the American dream, delivered without the specific policies to make them real that FDR or King fought for. I did not come to Washington to do messaging. I came to fight for a real agenda. Medicare for all. Tax the billionaires. No foreign wars. When we fight instead of platitudes, Trump's coalition can crack. We saw it with the Epstein Files Act. I stood with survivors and worked with Thomas Passy to pass the most consequential legislation a Democrat has in Trump's second term. It is the moment when Trump's presidency began to unravel. That is the kind of substantive politics I believe in. I come from the economic patriotism wing of the Democratic Party, the New Deal wing of the Democratic Party. We believe a national economic project is our path back from the wilderness. We see that America is at a breaking point, and that if we do not offer a new economic bargain, well, we will break. We understand, and I mean this with no offense, we understand that those who have lost 2 elections to Trump are no experts on electability and have no standing to tell a new generation of Democrats that their ideas for justice are too radical. We are for the working class over the Epstein class. Our vision for this party is to deliver America's next New Deal. What does that mean? It means Medicare for all, no more excuses, no more half measures, free universal health care for every American now. It means free child care for America. For $80 billion that we spent in Iran, we could do that today. A decent life requires good jobs in communities that people actually live in. That is why we need a national industrial development bank that rebuilds places hollowed out, whether it's in North Country, New Hampshire, Johnstown, Milwaukee, Bessemer, towns across this country. If China can invest $1.5 trillion in a national industrial bank, why can't we? It means 1,000 new trade schools across America, 1,000 new trade schools and tech centers to have next generation of jobs. Here's another simple idea. Hardworking Americans should be able to buy a home. How about we do this? A home by 35. If you work 7 years and you earn the right to buy a home with zero down payment and low interest loans, it's the same deal we give our veterans. Put young people in homes again. Now, here's what the Republicans will say. By the way, they called FDR a communist, too. They called him a communist in disguise, and they called that Dr. King that, too, two of the greatest leaders of the 20th century. But here they'll say, how are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? Now, take it from the guy from Silicon Valley. I've got a clear idea. Tax the billionaires, all 989 of them. That's not the 1%. That's not the 0.1%. It's not the 0.01%. It's the 0.001%. And you tax them at 5%, you raise $4 trillion. Some say, Ro, you're calling for taxing the billionaires. It's class warfare. I've got news for them. The billionaires have already been waging a class war. They are decimating unions. They are outsourcing jobs. They are putting costs of homes out of reach. America has been in a 5 decades class war since the 1970s. It's time to get off the sidelines and show whose side we are on. Nearly 100 billionaires live in my district. They didn't like me because I was for the 5% California tax because I believe we should pay for poor kids' health care instead of them. Well, they ran a $1 million candidate against me because I supported the tax. I won 63-6. So here's my question. If the guy representing 1/3 of the nation's wealth in Silicon Valley can be taxing the billionaires, how is this a hard vote for 434 other members of Congress? The same class fight is now playing out with AI. This is not complicated. We must be on the side of the workers. A party against oligarchy must stand with Teamsters over Tesla, truck drivers over big trucks. Just like planes have pilots, trucks should have drivers. Tax agentic AI and robots more than human workers. Stop data centers in residential communities. Protect workers from being fired with collective bargaining rights so that they have union rights. Democrats must put workers first in an AI age. And when I say we stand with workers, that includes our friends and neighbors who prepare our food, build our homes, and care for our children. That is why we must abolish ICE. It is a cruel, rogue agency. It is an agency, and you know this, that murdered Lorenzo Salgado, replace ICE with an immigration agency like we had from the New Deal until George W. Bush that works under justice. Here's what I want to say about this. When they shot Lorenzo, and I don't know if you saw his kids, well-educated, polite kids. When they shot Lorenzo, a construction worker, a 52-year-old father with 3 polite, well-raised children, they shot the American dream. That's what they shot, those ICE officers. I'm almost done. I've got my 10 minutes. I'm just not giving Ken a heart attack here. The skeptics will say we cannot pass this agenda because of money in politics. They have a point. Our party must lead the fight to get money out of politics. That's why I support Ken Martin. No super PAC spending in Democratic parties, primaries, none. Not now, not in 2028. There is no reconciliation in America without accountability. The bankers who caused the great financial crash in 2008, they belong in jail. The officials who lied us into the Iraq war, they need investigation. The Justice Department should never have delayed the January 6 cases that led Trump back into power. And so here's what I can say. When we take back the House, when we take back the Senate, we subpoena, we investigate, and we prosecute. We hold accountable a nation who doged this nation and who kill innocent people on the streets in this nation. Accountability doesn't just stop at our borders. October 7th was a horrific terrorist attack, and it must be condemned unequivocally. But Israel has committed a genocide in Gaza, and we should have the courage to say so. I saw the apartheid system in the West Bank when I was detained there. Zero aid to Israel. No military sales of weapons used to kill civilians. And let me be clear, if our party cannot stand for these principles, it will never convince a generation that watched the horrors of Gaza on their iPhones that we mean what we say about justice. Fortunately, America has a remarkable capacity for self-correction. Look, like all of you, I believe in this country. My grandfather fought for justice, and he went to jail twice as part of Gandhi's independence movement. Today, his grandson serves in the Congress, representing arguably the most economically consequential district in the world. I never thought I would get there. I was born in Philadelphia, our bicentennial year. Teachers and Little League coaches believed in me. My mother believed in me so much and believed in America that she would stay up late into the night with note cards of big English words, sure that if I learned every English word, maybe I would just have a shot in this country. My father would rise before dawn to go to work and still be present at every Little League game, even though I couldn't hit the ball for anything. All they asked of me was hard work and that I show up. This country gave me and my family a chance to succeed. I want a country where every American has the same chances that I had growing up. That's all. That requires a Democratic Party ready to reclaim its moral purpose and to stand for economic democracy against oligarchy. A party ready to lead the future with America's next New Deal. Let us be the party that calls on America to be bigger. Let us build an agenda that heals the divides between those who own capital and those who work with their labor, between the coasts and the factory towns.